go out. Cause you should just let this thing play in the background. Let's just talk about this instead of actually playing the game. I'm glad you chose these two teams because this is the best series in the whole joint. All right, let me make sure that's in. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Ready like Freddy. All right, so 1, 2, 3. Let's get it. You recording?
Yeah, it's recording.
Alright, what's up everybody? This is Drew.
This your boy Sean.
What's standing? So today we about to talk about the NBA playoffs. So let's get into it. First off, we're gonna start off with this first round. The trash series in this first round. So I'm gonna start off with Lakers versus Suns. Who cares? We all knew the Suns were going to lose. Now they ain't got Chris Paul. So what's the point in watching it? If the Lakers lose to them Suns without CP3, the whole team need to disband. They need to trade everybody immediately because it's impossible. They undersized. They ain't got no leader. And I'll give them this. At the end of the day, they got Booker. And Booker is a baller. You know what I'm saying? He tried to come out of the Black Mamba camp. But at the end of the day, you can't win through one player. So AD, LeBron, they just going to put up numbers on that team that he's not going to be able to come back from. DeAndre Ayton, I got to give a special shout out to that boy. Because I did not expect him to play the way he's been playing. I thought that boy was going to be trash, honestly. I thought he wasn't going to do much of nothing. But turns out, he was ready. He is shooting right now almost 80% from the field. He putting numbers up on that boy AD. I don't know how, I don't know why, but he is not playing with that boy right now. However, Game 3, 4, if it gets to a Game 6, which I doubt it will, but Game 3 and 4, I do believe that boy AD is going to show out. I'm putting up on. I'm just going to say, AD is going to completely stop that man in the coming games. What you got? What's your least favorite series right now?
That's your least favorite series right now?
Yeah. Yes, that's my least favorite right now.
You tripping, bro. My least favorite series right now, I guess I would say, is Philadelphia and Washington. Not too interested in that series.
Okay. Why?
I mean, I thought that Washington could be a good matchup for Philadelphia, but right now, I mean, it's a 2-0 series. It's actually, no, I would say probably Brooklyn and Boston. As much as I like Jason Tatum, that series is pretty boring at the moment too. So I mean, it's between those two. I still think the Lakers series is interesting because of the intensity the Suns are attempting to play with at the moment. You got Booker, you got Ayton. I don't think that the CP3 thing is like, I don't think it's like a crazy big deal, honestly.
But stop. You already know they about to get blown out tonight and every game after this. I ain't even worried about that. But I will say I have to agree with you on Washington Wizards and
Nets games. The Wizards and the Wizards and Sixers, Nets and Celtics, not interesting series to watch.
But a special mention, a special shout out to them there Mavs and the Clippers.
That's a fun series to watch. I'm loving watching Luka cook Kawhi and them boys. You don't like Luka. I like Luka. I like
But
Luca, and I don't like the Clippers, so this is fun to watch.
yeah, but them games,
They've been close
hey,
games though. See, I don't want to watch a series where the games are blowouts. Like Boston had a
of
good
course,
first half,
yeah.
bad second half. Like even if a series is a sweep, if it's a sweep and every game is close though, that makes the series more interesting.
Here's why I'm saying the Clippers and the Mavs, and this is why they're a special mention, and they ain't really in the trash category. But the reality is that last year we saw what the Mavs do to the Clippers, and if Porzingis didn't go out, everybody know they would have swept the Clippers, and the Clippers would have been out of their first round. So,
Even
with
with
that being
Porzingis,
said,
even when Porzingis played though, they didn't sweep him with him. They
no,
lost
but
games with him.
they lost some games, but at the end of the day, we all knew that the Mavs were going to win. So, in this series, I don't know if anybody, most people should have expected the Mavs to come out here and do what they're doing right now. I don't see a way for the Clippers to come back in this series. So, at this point in time, it's a trash series because it's a waste of time. They're not coming back going down there to Dallas. Dallas about to show out on them boys down there, and they gonna come out there on foes and that like Dallas do. You know what I'm saying? The environment gonna be crazy. They ain't gonna have a chance. So I don't see how Kawhi and Paul George, especially Paul George, we know him. I don't see how they make this series even logical to watch at this point. I don't see it. Now, if they do in this game, in the third game, I'll have to say, okay, this joint might be cool. But right now, it's trash. So moving on. Matter of fact, let's do this. Do we both agree that the Boston Celtics and the Nets are the worst series right now?
I hate to say it, but yes, right now that's even less interesting than the Wizards.
100%. I think that's the worst series right now.
Because I think the Wizards are still going to win at least one game. The way the Celtics look currently, I'm hoping they can pull one out in Boston because you know the fans in Boston don't like Kyrie, but
you we gonna say that one, but I ain't lying because ain't no way they doing that. But I would agree. Boston and the Nets, trash. I thought it was going to be a much better series just because Jason Tatum. I thought he was going to go out there and try to prove something, but
this is a series
so far,
that I actually wanted to see before
exactly,
when they had Jaylen Brown, but when Jaylen Brown went down at the end of the season, it was like I didn't even want Boston to make the playoffs, to be honest. I would have rather seen the Hornets, who stunk it up, or somebody else. Yeah.
I would have liked to see the Hornets, but the reality is that I felt like Jason Tatum would go out there and try to prove something, and so far they've been able to shut him down. So without Jason Tatum, that series trash. So moving on, favorite series right now, first round. I'm gonna start it off. Atlanta and the Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks and them there Knicks. This series is phenomenal for more than one reason. First reason, it's New York going against Atlanta. And we all know the South gonna win this. So with that being said, and I'm from Atlanta, so you already know I'm going for them there Hawks. But it's probably the biggest rivalry right now, period. We gotta win to shut them New York boys up. Cause New York be thinking they created basketball. They think they just run basketball in its entirety. And down here we got ballers. Shout out to Anthony Edwards. We got ballers. Lou Will gonna drop 40 in one of these games, but I'm gonna say that I ain't lying. But yeah, that's my favorite series right now. What you got?
Right now I think that I say it's my favorite series right now.
You think that one too?
I think the Knicks are gonna win the series, but
Oh, don't do that.
I think the Knicks are gonna win the series.
No, sir. No, sir. No way. No way. They gotta play 2 games in Atlanta. I think however you pronounce that white boy
Boban.
name, Boban gonna show. I think he gonna show up in these next 2 games, and I think that DeAndre Hunter, because he's been out for a minute. DeAndre Hunter under in Atlanta, I think he shows up. John Collins, I think he's going to be crazy defensively, and he's going to shut down Julius Randle a few times. So I'm really looking for Atlanta to take these next 2 games, and it'll be a gentleman's sweep. I think they're going to get 4. It's going to be 4-1. Because I don't think the
You
Knicks,
think it's gonna be a gentleman's? You crazy? Bro.
I think so.
You
I think so.
crazy.
But I'm gonna say that for I ain't lying. But I'm gonna just put that out there. Some honorable mentions because we agree on that. Atlanta and New York is the hottest joint right now. But I think the other one is the Grizzlies, and then there Utah Jazz. I didn't expect it. Ja almost dropped 50 on their head last night. And the one that makes the series for me is Ja's attempt on Rudy Gobert. That dunk attempt, Rudy blocking it. Oh man! And then them them 2 staring each other down, and Ja was like, "I'm coming back in there." Oh yeah,
and he came back, and Rudy got out the way.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. So that's going that series right there hot. Is there another one?
Unlike you, I'm enjoying the Lakers and Phoenix as well as the Clippers and Dallas. But see, the issue is this man Andrew thinks that the Suns are a bad team. They're not a bad team.
I don't think they're a bad team in the sense of them just being trash. But in the playoffs, nah, they not that. They're not it.
I'm the opposite. I think that the Suns are actually a better team than Utah. I would have rather matched up with Utah coming off Donovan Mitchell's injury. I'm a Lakers fan. I would have much rather play Utah than Phoenix right now.
You tripping for that one. But move. I had one more honorable mention. A sleeper. The Nuggets in Portland Trail Blazers. I don't know what's going on down there.
I'm just ready
for them too.
I'm just ready for the series to be over. I hope Denver pulls it out.
You's a hater, kid.
How? Who do you think is gonna win that series?
You's a hater. I'm hoping that the Trailblazers actually win it. Now I will say this: the reason why I'm saying this is a sleeper is because Carmelo. And I'm gonna say this, I ain't lying too. Carmelo, that boy, he ain't charged up yet. But I think game 3 tonight, game 4, he gonna ball on their head. It's gonna be different. And you already know Damian, he already doing this thing out there. So now we just looking at CJ, Norman. You know Norm can get buckets. Norm can get buckets. But we looking at them 2, and then we looking at Robert Covington is the only downfall of the whole thing. But see, I think he's the most disappointing.
They're not winning because of defense. I mean, they won game 1, but they need to play better defense. And the issue is
they ain't got nobody to defend Jokic though.
So. And I think Aaron Gordon picking up on Dame and having the success that he had in the second half of the last game, he's going to continue to 100%. Do that. I don't think that I don't think they're beating Denver, honestly.
I'm hoping it goes to a game 7, and I'm hoping that Norman, CJ, and Carmelo can help that man Damian out and pull through. I'm hoping for that.
I would love it if Carmelo went off, but in reality, I also as a Lakers fan, I don't even want to see Portland again. Portland is no match, if you want to be completely honest. Denver is down. Their best shot creator, and Portland, they're not doing nothing, bro. Portland
I
has.
don't know about that.
Portland's not doing anything.
Okay. All right. So moving on, let's talk about these series that we would like to see happen in the second round. So I'm gonna start off with the Hawks. The Hawks against, dang.
I want to go the opposite of Hawks and go with New York against Philly. But
He's a hater,
honestly,
kid.
either one of those teams, it would be a good series.
Exactly,
But
yeah.
I think New York. The thing is New York's defense. The Hawks have played good defense. I'm definitely giving them their props. They've played
Clint
great
against
defense.
Joel though.
They've played great defense throughout the first two games of this series, but I just feel like the Knicks would be a better matchup against Philly, honestly.
But
But I would love to see Trey in Philly going up against the Sixers.
Ben,
But
yeah, I'm saying the Hawks because Clint Capella against Joel would be crazy.
and see, I wish Mitchell Robinson wasn't hurt either because he
But
would.
that boy got broke foot.
No, I know. I'm just saying he would add another. He's done for the
But
year,
foot
but
broke, yeah.
New York would be even better defensively with him being able to swap in. So
And I'll say this too. I wish they would play Obi Toppin a little bit more. Obi playing in these playoffs.
yeah, offensively he's been
for
good.
sure.
He don't play no D. That's the problem. His defense isn't there. That's why Thibodeau ain't playing him.
But yeah, the Hawks against the Sixers, I think, will be a better matchup. I think that would be so much better. Again, it'll be another the South against the North type game. I think the matchups together are much better. Trey Young against Ben, Joel against Clint, DeAndre against Tobias, seeing how that work out. John Collins out there with them Bloods. I think that would be much better. And Lou going back to the Sixers, going back to Philly.
See, I
To
think
play
the
against
Knicks
them?
would be
Yes.
would be a better matchup in terms of the Knicks play really good defense. So you got a lot more bodies that you can throw at. Well, not even a lot more, but Cam Reddish is hurt right now. But you have a lot more
True.
bodies that you can throw at Tobias. Tobias is the engine. Mark my words.
He is.
He is going to
He
be the
is.
one that takes Philly. Every team needs a shot creator. If you
And
don't
he's the
have
one.
it, he's the one that is going to take Philly further. So if they can shut him down, Ben is not going to go out there and give you 25 a game. So then everything really comes
But don't put up
down
no
to
shots.
so then everything really comes down to Embiid. And that's what
Yeah.
would make that a very, very interesting series to me.
So I think we pretty much agreed. Honestly,
No
either one
matter
of
who
those
comes
teams-
out. Yeah, it's just like
Yeah.
if the Hawks make it, I won't be mad. I just personally think the Knicks are going to beat the Hawks. But I like both of those teams. This has been a great series. And either one of the teams that makes it out will make it an interesting situation
Because-
against Philly.
in my own opinion, honestly, even though I'm rooting for Atlanta, at the end of the day, if the Knicks actually pull it out, I honestly would like to see the Knicks in the conference finals. I honestly would. I would like to see the Knicks. It's
See,
the Nets.
I don't know
I would
if
like
they-
to see the Knicks against
I don't
the
know
Nets.
if they beat Philly, but I would love for them to beat Philly.
I think they could. I think they definitely could pull that off.
So
Just based off of
so you
the
automatically
team.
think the Nets are making it to the conference finals. I don't think that's
Yeah.
wrong. I'm just
Yeah.
so if Milwaukee pulls it out against Miami, they're definitely beating. I mean, the Nets are definitely beating Milwaukee. That's what you think?
I'll say it like this, because the reason why I'm putting the Nets above Milwaukee right now is because Milwaukee, even though they had that great shooting night the other night against the Heat, in all honesty, I don't think that the Heat allowed them to do that again. And right now, they're 2-0 to the Heat. But if I'm gonna be real, matter of fact, let me say that. Let me say that. But I do think that if Milwaukee got through to go against the Nets, I think the Nets blow them out 4-0, and I think the Nets go
Bro,
on.
you are very disrespectful with these sweeps. Let
I'm
me tell you
being
something. Hold on. Let me tell you something. First off,
what?
Brooklyn has no defense still. What's
They
very
don't.
deceiving about what Brooklyn is doing is they're playing Boston, a team that has had no big man all year, has been up and down. We're under
Yeah.
500 at one point. This has been Boston's worst season since before they had Isaiah Thomas on their team. That's how
You're not
long
lying.
Boston
Yeah.
has been consistent and been good. So with that being said, then they lose their second best player and arguably their
In my
best
opinion,
defender.
he's the best player on the team. In
And
my opinion, they
and
won more games without Jason than they won without Jalen. So
and they lost their best defender in Jalen, arguably. So I mean, with that being said, they don't have the defense to keep up with Brooklyn. They can't score like Brooklyn can score. So that's the situation. If Brooklyn goes up against Miami, who has grit, or Milwaukee, who both have grit, toughness, as well as defense, it's not going to be a sweep. They're not sweeping in either of those teams.
here's
This
the
is going
reason
to
why
be
I'm
their
saying that.
only sweep if they sweep Boston.
Here's the reason why I'm saying they'll sweep them. As we saw in Game 2 with the Heat against Milwaukee. Milwaukee shot them boys out of confidence. And I do mean that. They shot them boys out of confidence. So if Milwaukee can do that to the Heat, the Nets definitely can. And then you gotta go to Milwaukee. Giannis has yet to prove to anyone that he's gonna be mentally stable enough and aggressive enough in the playoffs to pull that team past a team that people believe are better. Because even last year in the playoffs, going against the Heat, he was getting stopped. Like, how does that happen? And then when you think about his supporting cast, Chris Middleton is so. On his best nights, he's arguably one of the best shooting guards in the league. On his worst nights, that boy is just trash. Like, he's not there. You might as well put a pin in it.
He is inconsistent, and just like Tobias, Chris Middleton combined with Drew Holiday that is what is going to determine how far the Bucks go. It's not Giannis.
And that's the next person I was going to bring up is Drew. Drew is a player that I feel like at the end of the day, if Giannis and Chris are off, he's going to be off. Now, if they hot, he's going to have a good night. But I don't think he's going to go out there and really keep up the pace for the Bucks if those two guys are not on point. So, in reality, KD, James Harden, and Kyrie, they not having that problem. So if any three of those players on the Bucks have a bad night, those games are over, and that's going to happen. So I don't see them having the ability to get past the Nets. So that's why I say that.
No, and I mean they probably will lose. I think that I would take the Nets in that series over Milwaukee, but it's not going to be a sweep. I see it going 6 games at the least. I mean, Milwaukee did beat them in 2 games also at the end of the season. I think that
Yeah, but they didn't play James Harden though.
without James, but I still that's just my opinion. I mean, I can't wait to see what happens, but it's definitely not going to be a sweep. I'm just throwing that out there so I can tell you I told you so when it happens. Just like Memphis and Utah, not going to be a sweep. That's going at the least 6 games. at the least.
Nah,
I can see
I
it
don't
going
think it gets
7.
to 6 now.
So you don't see Memphis winning another game, bro?
And not after last night.
Okay.
After last night in the first half, them boys up 22 on them. I don't see it being better because Donovan's back.
But
Remember the first game, Donovan didn't play. So.
But also, okay, they were up 22, and that lead went away quick.
It did. But you got to think about the reasons of why they were down 22.
No, but you got to think about the fact that Memphis used up all their juice on the comeback. Imagine if they had that same juice to finish the game, because it's not like the game was ever completely out of reach also. Like, even with 5 minutes left down 12, it looked like Memphis at any time could come back on Utah. It's not like the game was ever like, oh, this is just a wrap. Like, they took away a huge deficit pretty quickly. I definitely see Memphis getting at least one more game.
The main reason why I'm saying that is because of Dillon Brooks and Valanciunas. They gather too many fouls.
Jaren Jackson is honestly the issue. I could see Memphis almost beating them if Jaren Jackson has not been good. He has not been good during this series.
Not in this series, but honestly, he'll get back on cue. I think he'll be much better in these next few games. Just off of how he's been playing, I think he'll be pushed to play a lot better. But Valanciunas and Dillon Brooks getting these fouls, like last night, Dillon Brooks had 3 fouls in the second quarter. So it stops him.
Even with Donovan being there, the thing that's going to win this series for Utah is Rudy Gobert. If you notice, Rudy fouls out, Memphis wins.
Yeah.
Rudy has to stay out of foul trouble.
He's going to get in foul trouble regardless. He got to deal with Ja, D'Anthony, and them.
If they would drive to the basket, use their IQ, get Rudy out of there, they'll definitely win another game.
Well, I'm hoping, the Grizzlies is one of the teams I like right now. I think they players are built to be in the playoffs. I don't see them as a conference finals, them having a conference finals push, but I do think they can get past the first round. And
who?
The Grizzlies. I think they can get past the first round, be a second round playoff team.
But you don't see them beating.
I just don't see them beating the Utah Jazz. Nah. I would hope that they would be able to, but I can't see them doing that. But moving on. That boy ain't about nothing. Let's talk about your boy that we talked about earlier, Boban. You the reason, bruh. You're the reason why the Hawks lost that first game, shooting all them threes. That boy, I mean, not the first game, the second game. That boy there, if he touched the ball, he's shooting. That boy don't try to pass to nobody. He don't try to he don't take no mid-range shots, no layups, he don't try to do nothing else but shoot the three. That boy there, I can't even see how Nate is allowing him to do that. After that second three that he put up after the third one that he tried to put up, I think it was in the right hand corner on the wing. After that shot, right in front of, I don't remember who it was. I think it was Reggie Bullock that he tried to shoot over. After that shot, I would have put him on the bench next to me. Put Hunter back in, and let's keep pushing, because that boy was tripping. I don't know what he was thinking with that. Who you think? Who you got?
I'm trying to think of somebody. I don't want to go with the obvious, which is because I actually like him as a player. But for today's episode, that boy ain't about nothing guy is Paul George. I don't think Paul George is gonna step up the rest of this series.
They ain't PG.
Because if you want my honest
he
opinion,
had 28 the other night though. He had 28.
Kawhi had 41, but Kawhi should be the one guarding Luka every time down. Forget the points; they need to be defending Luka. Luka is tearing them up.
My thing about that is
Kawhi is supposed to be the best defender in the league.
He is,
supposedly.
but I don't think he is.
Okay, with that being said, if he's supposed to be the best defender in the league, if it was me and I'm that good of a defender, we're getting cooked. You heard about the shouting match that Rondo had with Serge Ibaka and Ty Lue. For one, actually, that's who I should make my that boy ain't about nothing. Ty Lue should have never been hired as coach. But when you let your two superstars who haven't proven anything really, I don't care what you people say, Kawhi got traded to the right team. He got traded to a team
at the right time, and the right things happen for him.
Completely right situation.
Mm-hmm.
Ty Lue should not have been the coach, but when you let your two superstars run the organization, this is what happens. Because you see Doggett's doing great with Philly. Now Philly's unlocking their true potential. They're one seed. Even with Ben Simmons not adding any factors to his game.
Therefore, do not shoot the ball.
Yeah, so.
You didn't mention this about Ty Lue, though. Reggie Jackson? Why are you on the floor? Where is Rajon Rondo? Why is he not playing no minutes? What we doing here? And Luke Kennard, why he ain't playing no minutes? We just start. We've been playing these players all season long. And Rajon Rondo, the reason why I'm saying Rajon Rondo should be on the floor is because that's the reason you brought him there is for the playoffs. Now, during the regular season, you weren't giving them no minutes, and that made sense. But this playoff time, you're supposed to be playing him.
They aren't giving Boogie any minutes either. Boogie has not played yet.
Boy, that's another one. You going against this Mavericks team who ain't got no... Porzingis can't handle Boogie. Let's be real. Now, I will say this.
He's another that boy ain't about nothing candidate because Porzingis... Imagine if Porzingis would even put up 20.
He will, though. He will. He's going to. I think the main reason why in these first two games he hasn't is because of the fact that Tim Hardaway Jr. and what that boy name with the two last names? I can't even think of his bro name. But both of them have been shooting lights out. So it's hard to give the ball to Porzingis to get him going when everybody else is hot on the floor. So
I'm ready for game 3 because I'm ready to see. I hope Dallas comes out firing, goes ahead and kicks the Clippers on their butt. Put them down 3-1 and then go ahead and take them out their misery. If you have to drop one game, that's fine, but go ahead and take care of them.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, that boy ain't about nothing. I'm gonna have to agree. Ty Lue, you are the sole reason of why these boys are in the position that they are in. Because at the end of the day, if he wasn't playing, if he would play Rajon Rondo a lot more, because if you look at their plus minuses, that man up 18. So Rajon Rondo should be playing,
and it's not even more. It's the Clippers organization. Just throw it away. Between the players that you have, the coaching, and then everybody was like, the Clippers have a better team this year. No, they don't. They were better last year with the hustle guy like Harold, Lou Williams, who can come off the bench and give you 20 on any given night. They are not a better team this year. They're not.
Well, it's hard for me to say they're not a better team because I do feel like them adding Serge, Boogie, Rajon Rondo.
Well, see, people weren't saying. People were acting like the Clippers had a better team. Ray John and Boogie were late, like last minute
Yeah.
additions. People were acting like they had a better team when their additions were Nick Batum and Serge.
Hey, let's not. Hey, Nick has been. He hasn't been.
He's been
like
good
he
for
was in
them.
the regular season, but he's been.
He's been
that
good
guy
for them all year. So I'm not even just
Yeah.
counting these two playoff
He's
games.
been that
He's
guy.
been way better. But me personally, I don't think they're a better team than they had last year. I don't think that Serge is making that big of an impact, honestly. And
Not at all.
I don't think they're
He
going to
should be
make
much
it.
better.
They're not making it out the first round. I hope Luka go ahead and hit him with a 40-piece triple-double. Porzingis bring through 25. Let's get
You
him
wrong
out
for
of
that,
here.
boy.
Let's get him out
You
of
wrong
here.
for that one. But moving on, because that boy ain't about nothing, goes to Ty Lue by far for not playing Rajon Rondo. That's
coaching in
That's
general.
all we got to say. That's all we got to say. They not playing Rajon, so they definitely deserve that boy ain't about nothing. So, I ain't lying. The Memphis Grizzlies about to get blown out. And I do think that they in the next two games, I think they'll go down 30 points at one point. 30 to 40 points at one point.
In both games or one?
No, in one. At least one of them. At least one of them, I think they'll get blown off the floor. And I think Donovan Mitchell will have about... In one of the games, I think Donovan might drop 50 on them. Can't lie. I ain't lying. Them Bucks might lose this series.
I'm not. I don't think that that's impossible. You know, I'm not high on the Bucks. Honestly, I'm just
Yeah.
not gonna act like the Nets gonna sweep everybody. But
I don't think I think that the Heat, if Tyler, cause that boy ain't about nothing. Let's just say that. Let's give an honorable mention to that boy Eric Spoelstra. You, sir, shouldn't have a job in the NBA. Cause I don't care what nobody say. I ain't never liked Eric Spoelstra as a coach. Honestly, in my opinion, the only reason he won those rings with the Heat is because of the fact that LeBron, D Wade, and Chris Bosh was all on the same team, plus Ray Allen, and who else was on that squad? I'm missing the name.
I'm gonna
It don't
stop you
even
right
matter.
here because Eric Spoelstra is one of the better coaches in the NBA.
But stop.
Completely disagree. All
But
them years
stop.
when them boys had Justice Winslow, a baby Josh Richardson, and them nobodies playing on their team, and they were always a 9th seed. They would either barely
What
squeak
that supposed
into
to
the
mean
playoffs.
in the East, though?
But
what
that's
that mean in the
see,
East?
But see, you saying that in the East, I really hate to do this to you because you making me put you on. When the Pistons even scratch the surface of being an A seed,
But that's my point, though. We've had bad coaches and bad teams. So when we talk about that, let's talk about the full aspect of it.
hold on,
It
and that's
didn't
what I'm
take much for
saying.
him to
But
get
you
them
saying,
there.
but you saying that you said in the East. With that being
Yeah.
said, then even with bad, because you just said the man doesn't deserve a job as a coach. With that being said, then if he doesn't deserve to be a coach, then why has Miami consistently performed so much better than your Pistons? Consistently.
Hey, I'm gonna say it like this: one wrong don't make another right. So I'm gonna say it like this: them Detroit Pistons have sucked. They've had bad coaching, bad management, and straight up and down. To be real, they've had some bad teams at the same time. Well, honestly, I won't even say some bad teams because we've had players go to other teams, and those teams have become playoff teams, and they perform. So I can't even say we've had bad teams. But the reality is that the Heat in that time frame have had to go against us. It didn't take much to keep us out. I mean, we've had 2 years where we were a little bit better with Blake Griffin and D Rose.
Because you saying that, but Spoelstra he's only missed the playoffs 3 times since LeBron has left out of one,
But
two,
in
three,
that,
four, five, six, 7 out of 7 seasons. So he's went to the playoffs over 50% of the time. And when he's missed it, he's only been as low as the 10th seed.
but let me ask you this: has his teams always been better than the Wizards, Orlando?
No, the Wizards have had better teams than the Heat during that span.
When?
When they had Wall, they've had Wall, Pierce,
been
Beal.
out for a minute.
No, yeah, now, but that's only been in the last 2 seasons, bro. The Heat have not been.
But what I'm saying though is that the last time they were even the
Spoelstra's
playoff team
teams
was
have-
with Paul Pierce.
Spoelstra's
And-
teams have overachieved. No, they've been a playoff team since Paul Pierce has left. The Wizards have made the playoffs since then.
I don't remember. It must have been
They
one
started
time.
missing because they played that series against IT and them. They've only missed once. Wall.
Yeah, wasn't that with Paul Pierce?
No, they've
When
only
IT
missed. They've only missed since Wall has been
Being injured. I thought
yeah. It's only been like two. It's only been 2 to 3 seasons that they've missed the playoffs. But
well, regardless, they was never a phenomenal team. And honestly,
you want to get back to the hot take?
oh yeah, we still on that. But I'm just end that little conversation off with this. They were better than the Knicks, so they already had a spot. It don't even matter. But I ain't lying when I say that the Lakers, for these next 3 games, gonna blow out the Suns. I don't see them Suns winning another game. Not at all.
I think the Suns ruined themselves with Devin Booker talking trash at the end of the game while you lost. They've been a little too pushy and edgy. And to be honest, the Lakers haven't really turned it on. They've been cruising. They haven't played hard yet.
Not at all. And that's why I'm saying that. Because I see a major drop off for DeAndre. Not DeAndre. What the boy name?
DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah, DeAndre Ayton. I see a major drop off. I don't see him shooting above 60% from the field. That's my take on that. But I don't see him having another game where he's just balling out of his mind. I don't see another game where AD has less than 25 in the game. I think for the rest of these games, he's going to average around 25 and 15, honestly. And LeBron, he's definitely going to start cooking them. So I don't see them having any chance in the next 3 games at all. So you got any iron lines you want to put out there?
Currently, I don't have any for this first round, honestly. I'm more concerned with the second round. My I Ain't Lying segment is, even if the Clippers come back and knock Dallas off, Utah is not making it to the Western Conference Finals.
Dang.
Utah is a regular season team. They are overrated. They're not making it to the conference finals.
He said they overrated.
And Memphis is snatching another game against them as well.
I'm gonna have to disagree with that one. I don't think
that's
that Utah,
fine. That's just my hot take.
Yeah, I know. I just don't see Utah losing. I don't see them losing to Memphis and whoever comes out of that. Because who they play if they beat Memphis again?
The Clippers or Dallas.
Yeah, I don't see them losing to neither one of them teams at all.
So
I will
Utah
give a
going
little
to the
bit of push for the
finals.
Memphis. Right now, Right now, I would have to say yeah. I ain't lying. I ain't lying. I think it might be. I think it might be possible because I don't see the Mavs performing the way they've been performing right now. I don't see that happening again, and I definitely don't see the Clippers after the way they've been playing. Even before the start of the playoffs, I don't see them doing nothing. I don't see them playing good at all unless they go to the conference finals and play the Lakers.
That's when you see the Clippers playing good.
Because that's the only time they actually put effort towards winning. If we're going to keep it all the way real. Anytime Kawhi, Paul George
But see,
actually
I
ball
think
is against the Lakers.
I'm tired of hearing the excuse that the Clippers gave it up. No, the Clippers are a team.
Lost.
They're trying. Kawhi went out there and scored 40, 41 against Dallas in the last game. He's trying. They're just losing. Yeah. They just can't. They're not that great of a team like everybody's acted like from the beginning. They never were.
That's why I'm saying what I'm saying. I do believe that they, as an overall team, will perform going against the Lakers.
Yeah, I think they'll attempt to, but I think in the playoffs they're getting swamped by the Lakers too.
Oh
honestly.
Yeah, I do think that too. But I do believe that Reggie, and Luke, they gonna play better. And I think they actually get on. I think Luke gets on the floor against the Lakers. I think Boogie gets on the court against the Lakers. Ray John gonna play a little bit more minutes. Like I think they take them a lot more serious. And in all honesty, if we gonna be 100% real too, I don't care what nobody say. That's their championship. Like
if
that's
they play the Lakers, that's what they see. Ty Lue is just.
It's not even about no finals championship. It's about playing the Lakers and beating them in the playoffs. Honestly.
Ty Lue is just an idiot. Serge played 5 minutes in game 2.
Trash.
12 minutes in game 1.
Trash.
That's as bad as James Borrego with the Biyombo thing.
Mm-hmm.
Cody Zeller.
100%. Because the Hornets should not have gotten dropped off like that. But going back to the Clippers, like, in all honesty, as much as everybody wants to say that the Clippers tried to dodge the Lakers, at the end of the day, I think they rested those players to play the Lakers in the conference finals. I don't see.
But it really didn't make sense.
The Clippers.
It was dumb.
Didn't.
If you were going to do that, why wouldn't you play? See, and they're too cocky. That's another issue with them. Just like last year, you don't ever play together and build any chemistry. But you mad when you don't make it to the conference finals. You don't deserve to.
But see, that's what I'm saying. I think they rested those players to miss them in the first round because they expect to be in the conference finals against the Lakers.
I think so, and they were trying to wait. But even that was a dumb strategy. Why wouldn't you play the Lakers off top? LeBron should still be rusty. AD really is still getting back to it. You playing them once if both of you make it. When you're talking about playing them, both of your teams have made it all the way to the conference finals. That is a dumb strategy to wait to play them until then. By now, both teams should be juicing and have everything together.
I have to say, like, the Clippers, at this point, their whole philosophy and everything that they are actually going about this season is about beating the Lakers at all costs. It doesn't matter. This series here doesn't matter because even if they lost here, they wouldn't see themselves as losing like they should, as losers like they should. They're going to see it as another missed opportunity to go against the Lakers and prove themselves against the Lakers. Because that's what everything's about. At the end of the day, I'm sure Ty Lue and them only have talked about, let's get out there and make it to the conference finals for the first time and beat the Lakers. That's what I truly believe that's their whole sole purpose this whole season has. Because when you think about it, them going to get Rajon Rondo, them getting Boogie, Reggie and them, their whole reason for doing all of that was to counteract what the Lakers are doing. They get a player like Reggie Jackson that is really a scoring point. Just like Dennis is more he is a more pass first player, but they kind of are the same build. They're kind of the same player, so they're doing everything. Luke and KCP, like, and what's up with the Lakers and the Clippers getting players from Detroit? What's going on with that? Well, what's their fascination with getting players from Detroit? Yeah, like, what's up with that? Please enlighten me, cause I don't like it. I don't like them trying to go out there and get Piston players and get them into the playoffs and stuff, trying to make them look good. Like, I'm tired of KCP hitting threes. Where were you at in 2015, KCP? When we needed you the most? Where were you? But you show up for them there Lakers last year to win a championship. You ain't about nothing. I don't like you. Reggie Jackson, you still the same player. I ain't got to hate on you. Luke Kennard, ain't got to hate on you. You still the same player. Both of y'all kind of still trash. But KCP, we see you.
And KCP is a problem with the series now because he ain't done jack yet.
He is.
LeBron told that
terrible.
man, when I pass you the ball, shoot.
Shoot it. That boy has been atrocious. But at the end of the day, he won that finals last year with them boys. So I'm still not liking that. KCP, you sir, your old Detroit Pistons fan something. Because you ain't put that much. Oh, Blake Griffin too. Now you can dunk. Now all of a sudden you got vertical.
It don't matter because that boy Blake's still trash.
He is still
to finish
bad, but
today's podcast. We have the Bucks and the Heat in Miami. Who do you have winning that game? I got Miami
the
tonight.
Heat.
Yeah.
The Heat. Lakers and Suns. Who you got?
I got Lakers this game. I think the Suns are going to beat us in another game. I think it'll be the next game.
They losing that series. It's over. Portland and Denver.
This is an iffy series for me. I hope Denver beats them tonight. I'm gonna go with Denver.
Hater. I think Portland comes through tonight.
Why do I have to hate on Portland?
Because you're a hater. You don't want to see Carmelo shine. But anyways,
I want to see Carmelo play well, but I mean, I don't expect
you don't want Carmelo to get no ring. Anyways, but I think Melo will drop 20 tonight. I think he'll get 20 points. I think Norman Powell and CJ turn up on them boys too. Honestly, I want to say this. I think CJ and Dame tonight get 60 together. I think Norman Powell's going to put up about 15. I wish they were playing Ennis over Nurkic and having Nurkic come off the bench. But there's nothing you can do against Jokic anyways. So I will have to say Portland to end up winning. But it'll be close. Alright, that's it. That's it right there. So we'll be back with another one sometime soon. let's go ahead and log out of here. It's been your boy Drew.
It's me, boy Sean, man. We'll catch you guys in the next episode.
Yes, sir. Let's go. Oh, we were right at the 5 minutes.